Hello, today we're going to talk about a very useful but somewhat obscure feature of the Japanese translation software tool, which is the handling of scripts, mostly from think like 8-bit era video games, where the resolution was very low, such that you would have trouble distinguishing characters with subtle differences to them. So this comes up in Kana when you're dealing with voiced characters. So in the way that the character he could become B or P depending on how the diacritical mark that shows up next to it. This was difficult to represent in a single font tile in those old systems. So the way that they dealt with this was by displaying it in two font tiles. So one tile had the unvoiced character, and then on a separate tile there was an indication of what the diacritical mark was. Now, the challenge this poses for a tool like this is that if you're ever working with a script that deals with its voiced characters this way, when you do your lookups, you're never going to get the lookups of the voiced characters. You're going to get the unvoiced character and then a little bit of, of non-Japanese as far as this is concerned. So we want to deal with this in some way. But let's go ahead and grab a snippet here from a script that is formatted this way and just see what happens when we go ahead and drop this into the translation memory raw, or into the lookup. So we've done a lookup on this, and we get here, instead of miracle world sword, we get miracle sort. We have current on the end of here, which is coming from this finding this as se. When it's ze, it's actually just going to ignore it, I believe. Then we have mikeru instead of migeru. We have hitari instead of pitari. So obviously it's catching these unvoiced versions of these. So the way we're going to deal with this is pretty simple. We're going to put this back in here, and I'm actually going to do something, which is to format this like that. And I'm going to copy this doc10 character. So we're going to come down here, and we've got little text fields for you to actually just paste your characters into. The reason I chose to do it this way is because there's no single character that you would necessarily use in your script to represent these. If you check like the Unicode character set, there's multiple characters for each of these that look almost identical. So they're different byte lengths actually, which causes a problem we might see here. But at any rate, this way you can just put in the character that you're using in your script, and it's going to then process that for you, so you don't have to worry about it. And the lookup will function the way you expect. So we put our 1010 there, our maru there, and let's go ahead and hit continue. Okay, so now we get miracle sword. We do not have the current on there anymore. We have Miguel and perfect for Pitari. So I would say that is perfect. This is a feature that I'm very excited about for working with games from these older, lower resolution systems. And let's go ahead and hit finish, and we'll see that, you can see here this is a single character P, a single character Do. We don't have that trouble where there are separate characters now, but if we hit finish, that's the reason I split those out into lines there. We can see that it actually preserved the separate characters there. So it's not gonna actually alter our Japanese script. It's just using for the translation the real voiced characters so that we can make full use of our translation memories.